The wind came first. When I first came here in the 70s, I thought climbing was about freedom. That's what we all said anyway. Freedom from work, freedom from noise, freedom from ordinary life. But the older I get, the more I realize it was never freedom I was searching for. It was continuity. My ancestors lived beneath these skies. Not metaphorically, not romantically, literally. They worked these hills until their backs bent and their hands split open in winter. No one asked if they were happy. That wasn't the question back then. The question was simpler. Can you endure? Can you keep going when the roof leaks? When the crops fail? When your chest burns from quarry dust? When another child doesn't survive the winter? And yet, they preserved something. A way of life. Not through speeches, not through politics, through repetition. The lighting of lamps, the mending of boots, the tending of sheep, the walking to church on Sundays in worn jackets brushed clean for one decent hour. They belonged somewhere. That's what strikes me most now. Even in hardship, they belonged to the land beneath their feet. When I climbed in the 70s, some of that world still remained. You'd walk into places like Hathersage or Castleton and see old men leaning on walls that their grandfathers probably built. The pub still smelled of coal fires and damp coats. Railway stations still carried echoes. Even the silence felt inhabited. We climbed with simple gear. A few wedges. A hawser-laid rope if you were unlucky. Cold hands. Cheap tea. But we carried something with us without realizing it. Inheritance. My people were not famous. No statues, no books written about them. They were plasterers, miners, laborers, field workers, ordinary souls who disappeared quietly into the earth. But they preserved England far more than politicians ever will. They preserved it through effort, by repairing instead of replacing, by enduring instead of complaining, by understanding that life was not supposed to revolve around them. I think that's why I love these places so much. Not because they are beautiful, though they are, but because the past still breathes here if you stand quietly enough. Sometimes I place my hand on stone that was shaped centuries ago and I wonder whose hands touched it before mine. A shepherd? A quarryman? A boy walking home after burying his father? Their lives are gone now, but traces remain. One day we too will vanish. Our tools, our voices, our little routines, all gone. But perhaps that is not the tragedy people think it is. Perhaps the real tragedy is forgetting. Because once a people forget the sacrifices that built their world, they stop valuing the world itself.